Hello there and welcome to a follow-up video, and we've already had a first go at reworking Faymonville Approach based on the positive feedback to the idea by all of you that watched that first proposal. Let's just get started. I'm going to work through the rework that K-Pen and I have created, and I think it's elegant and I think it improves the map drastically. A fantastic map that's going to be made even better, so this could possibly, if we play test it and if we iterate and improve, it could be one of the best maps in Co for certain. So let's have a look, and let's start with this base sector. What was wrong with it from the start? Well, I'll show you what we changed first. It now looks like this. Everything in our rework is going to be brighter and it's going to have more contrast. It's not going to be as dingy looking, and that's because we used a different atmospheric setting that I personally prefer, and it is going to be a bit brighter, but it's in the middle of day rather than dusk or whenever the first Faymonville was. But let me talk about what we've changed. So we'll start here. See this base bunker and these trees here? They're gone because the tanks used to path in from this direction and hit them. So we've elegantly used one bunker to cover both base exits here. You can see we've massively widened this base exit here. This is to make the approach to the centre of the map a lot wider and just more accessible. To counteract that, we have therefore moved this cutoff in a little bit. You can see that there. It's now further from this base exit because, quite frankly, this player will be able to get onto the map earlier. To make this cutoff more defendable for the player, yes, we still have that truck with the yellow cover on one side. That was there previous. But we also now have joined this house. We've flipped it 90 degrees so the window does no longer face the cutoff, and we've made a hedgerow that is continuous. Therefore, you can flank around it. So if you're pinned in here or pinned in here, you can flank around and make your escape. So that's how we've changed the base exit. We've also brought this hedgerow up a little bit here to stop this player pinning the northern player into their base. So a little bit more defense this one, a bit more open here, less base bunkers, more efficiently placed, 3 in total, to account for the fact that this base sector is a lot smaller than the southeast base sector. So that's the base sector pretty much done. I'm sure there's a little bit more than that, but I've already spoken about that cutoff as well. Let's start working our way to the centre, and we have changed how this works quite a lot. So let's go back to the centre and explain what the problem was. The problem for me was this cover is one directional. There's yellow all the way down and green the other side. That's just trash. That shouldn't be in the game. There's also not symmetrical usage of green cover. There's 2 items here, only 1 item here. There's a cutoff here that you have to take into account at all times. The bigger point, though, I made in my first video is the approach was biased for the southeastern player. There's too many ways to approach this central house from multiple angles. So let me explain how we've changed it. We've made it wider accessibility. We haven't gone about changing Faymonville Approach, destroying the road system. We didn't nuke it. We just iterated. We've made much wider gaps here, with the premise being you can easily reverse 2 packs or Zis guns through the gap with no issue. The green cover has been pulled away from the victory point. We've still got that truck in its exact same location, but we've added a well here to this central field. This car here, which will forever now be known as the Harry Potter car, has trundled in from the air and landed through a fence. The point in this, in its placement, by the way, is to fight up against these 2 walls, but we've made these 2 walls now green cover on both sides, but noticeably away from the victory point. We added blockers close to the victory point, so you can't just dominate the victory point and sit behind the wall easily. And it's obviously accessible on both sides. I think that'll make for fairer fighting for both West and East. This is the big change for West, though, in my opinion. It should make it a lot easier. You can see that this hedgerow is less dominant as well. So you'll still have the choice to retreat either side of it with a soft retreat and then a hard retreat. But it's all about those 2 big gaps there. Now, this is hype. This hedgerow, we found that there was a secret wall hidden underneath it. We've removed that wall, so you can now use AT guns to fire shots through the hedgerow, just like on famous maps like Crossroads. There is also, we've improved this hedgerow here. It now is more defined in what it does in blocking sight. It still blocks the same amount of sight, or near enough, possibly a little bit more. No, about the same amount. And you can actually you can see what it's going to do now, so it's more explainable. It's all about logic in our map making approach. There was another big hype thing, and you might have already spotted it. We have covered up this window on the north side of the house, so no longer can you cover the victory point with the house. You can only cover the approaches from the west or east side. You cannot cover the northern passage. With beefing up this hedge, you can see we actually beefed it up and made it more defined. I'll go down here now. It's no longer as clumped and as crowded. It's a little bit more. You can see the path if you notice. It's less foliage going on, and as I say, it's more defined, meaning that the site can no longer cover as much of this this fuel point, and it can no longer cover as much of this, if you see. So it blocks a little bit of that. You can cap down here without this machine gun being able to see you, and you can also flank the machine gun, pop up out here, and you won't be seen at any point. I think that covers us for the centre. And as I said earlier, we've removed the green cover from either side of the victory point, replacing it with light cover. It's just these walls now that offer cover, but at least it's symmetrical. We haven't changed anything else anywhere else except a truck's been replaced with a car down here, so it's not quite as big. And that asset was used quite a lot on the map. The north has not been touched, by the way. It's all the same. Everything's the same. We did put this tree in, though, so it doesn't block vision of what's coming out of there. It's a tree with no leaves. Oh, and K-Pen added the fact that you can see leaves falling off this tree, which is nice. So those of you with high graphics settings will be able to see that. Now, there are more changes, so don't worry. This is exciting, this bit in particular. Dun, 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 dun. You can get through this wall now, get to this victory point. You don't get crushed by a Panzer IV brutally on your way out. And also, the eastern player has a beach to travel through to get to the victory point. They didn't have that previously. It was all blocked off. And now there's a beach. So this victory point will no longer be a unit trapper where they get crushed in and they have to hide here. Well, nobody ever hid here. They have to hide in the house and then they try and run away and they get killed. They do have the option of an escape on both sides now, which should make it a lot fairer. And I think that sums up all of our changes. I'm going to zoom out now and show you that bird's eye view of the central fighting area, just so you can appreciate just how much it has changed and how good that should be. So let's hope that's a good view there. Yeah, that's pretty much bob on. You can see that the angle's in a lot fairer. It's a lot clearer to find green cover fighting inward. There's easier, should be easier flanking route. And there's still got the same sight blocker there. But importantly, we've covered the northern side of the house, so you can't pin the angle coming in. And then let's go to that base again. Just show you just how easy it is to traverse this very small base sector. There's not as much bullshit there. Your tanks can go straight through here, straight into the center of the map. They don't have to wind around, getting all clogged. So that'll be better. There's less base bunkers. One base bunker does both jobs efficiently. It's expertly positioned, and yeah, it is just a much more elegant and efficient presentation now. I think we have actually done the impossible of improving one of Company Heroes' best ever maps, and that's Faymonville Approach ML Edition. The reason it's ML Edition is I am not an official envoy for Relic. I am not tasked by them with doing any map making work, and neither is K-Pen. We are just doing this for our own tournaments, the Master League tournaments, and it should look how much bigger the base sector is here. 4 bunkers in that one, to be fair. We aren't touching the rest of the map, though. We just wanted to touch the centre and the northwestern base, like we said we would. And we did end up putting these 2 escapes in as well, just to summarise. And let's have a quick look at how it plays. We're just going to finish the video off, we'll just get a feel for things. And just, get a feel for this new base exit, just so you can see it being utilised. And also you can see the new atmospheric settings. See if it's too much. It might be a bit too radiant. I don't think it is. I think it's beautiful, quite frankly. This is the exact same setting I use for my strategic zoom casts. I always used to change the contrast settings to this. It's all about coming up against this green wall, and you've got multiple angles of approach now on this central house, which can't block you off in this direction anymore, as I've already mentioned. But let's just get a feel for the sight ranges. Wanted to keep this green cover here. I think that's it's universally kind of fought for, but it can be used on both sides. You can go this side and go against the opponent here. So I don't see it as a problem, to be honest. It's always been on the map, so nobody's ever really complained about it. I'm going to use this guy to investigate down here, show you the attacks on this. I do notice that it's possibly this is a very strong wall. It is quite close to the victory point. Maybe it'd be worth centralizing the victory point, moving the victory point there, so it's in the middle of everything, if that makes any sense. It's easier to see in this mode. Maybe if it's there and the circle was fully central, it would be better. But there's the first engagement there. He could have gone in the house and then out the house, up to that yellow cover, and then up to the green wall, like so. Let's see what we can see from here and move him out. And we'll show you the vision, or lack thereof, when we've got this guy out of there. Show you, there you go. It should match up with this wall just about. And there you go, not covering the victory point anymore. Next thing we'll do, we'll just show you the little beach thing that I'm pretty hyped for. You know, you guys know that when Stern Panther and Rosbone did a rework of this map, I got their ear a little bit and I made them change this hedgerow and made them put an island in down south and stuff, and connect the telephone lines which weren't connected. But this, I really feel like I got a taste for the map making process during that, and once you've had a taste of it, it's quite addictive. So yeah, this is that beach, so you can access the victory point a little bit more easily now. Fight up to this screen cover and an exciting. I mean, possibly throw a grenade over there. That'd be cool. Maybe you can throw a grenade from here to there. But yeah, this map should be a lot more exciting now. Now, the next part of the announcement is that there will be a show match on this on my Twitch channel at 7 PM GMT tonight. So as I've uploading, this should be uploaded in the next 10 minutes. You know, it's about 3 hours time, 3.5 hours time, something like that, on twitch.tv/AECOH. AECOH rather, if I can remember my own username. And that will be between the highest ranking Master League players that want to fight for, let's say, $30. Call it $30 in a best of 3. Bit of training for them, bit of casted entertainment for you, and a bit of money for them too. So yeah. Alright, thanks for watching everybody, and you'll find a Steam link to this version in the description, so please take a look at that. Please give your feedback, and yeah. Hope you enjoy. Thank you.